Good evening, everybody. My name's Tarali. This is the Midnight Run. Tonight, we're taking a look at the Restoration Shaman. It's one of my favorite class specs for the Shaman, and one of the most played characters I have overall in World of Warcraft. I do love to play a tank, don't get me wrong, but playing a healer, especially this Shaman, well, maybe not this Shaman, but my mainline Shaman, has been the most fun I've had. I used to heal ICC with my Shaman. I remember single-handedly keeping a 25-man raid alive during a giant trash pull with my Shaman before they nerfed chain heal down to nothing. I can't tell you enough how much I enjoy playing a Shaman. And it's going to look a little different in the sense of how I play it is not with the bars. In the sense of, like, my action bars kind of become secondary to the fact that, I use some mods and stuff. Usually I use a mod called, I was using Voodoo for a while, which helped me manage my healing with clicks and buttons and click combinations and that sort of thing. Now I use an add-on called Click, which is very simple. It's just, it uses your existing unit frames, whatever mod you have, however you modify your UI, and you just assign a keyboard shortcut with a mouse command to each spell, and then you can click right on the unit frames and have it do that. Now, we are going to start, as we always start, with the specialization screen. Now, of course, Restoration is the spec that I'm currently in on this guy. It's a healer. Primary stat is Intellect, a healer who calls upon ancestral spirits and the cleansing power of water to mend allies' wounds. All of these spells pretty much have remained the same. Healing Surge is quick and expensive. Healing Wave is slow but really good. And Chain Heal heals a bunch of guys. Riptide is a heal plus a heal over time. Healing Rain is an AoE heal. Tidal Waves makes all your heals do better stuff. So, moving on. We've all seen these before, it's no big deal. Getting into the talents is where things become a little bit more interesting, let's say. I chose an ability in the level 15 called Unleash Life. At low level, it's going to be very good for you because you're going to have an extra heal where you would normally have maybe one or two at the very most. So this is going to be like your almost on cooldown heal that you would hit. It also makes it so that your next direct heal heals better. I find that that's always a good thing to have. Increased healing on a next heal, knowing that I'm going to get better healing out of a spell by casting this one first, is a good way to efficiently heal someone who's really low, or who you want to make sure doesn't die in the next few seconds, because they're going to get this heal to like stave off death, and then you're gonna give it a 30% increase at Healing Wave. Otherwise, you might not use Healing Wave. You'd use Healing Surge, and you'd run out of mana. Like, it's very good. At the 30 tier, they're pretty much all garbage. I don't like the tier at all. So I took Gust of Wind, which at least gives me some kind of utility. It's a gust of wind that hurls me forward. I wonder if it would actually prevent me from taking some damage if I was taking fall damage and I used this. So we'll see. Could be good for getting out of pools and stuff, but other than that, I don't think this tier is really worth too much. At level 45, another tier that's mostly about crowd control, I took Voodoo Totem as I do on live because it's kind of like an AoE hex. It hexes everything and you can kind of pick and choose your targets. Very kind of situational, not really super worth it. Also, one of the very few totems that shamans actually get now. I've noticed on the Restoration Shaman we're given a couple totems, which I will go into, but other than those two totems, there are no other totems. So I don't even have Earth Elemental Totem or Fire Elemental Totem to give me a sort of like buffer between myself and incoming damage. Though I should be a powerful enough healer to just heal myself through that. At level 60, I take Deluge. Chain Heal heals for an additional 20% on targets within your healing range or affected by your Riptide. Now, Riptide is a spell you're going to use all the time, and Healing Rain is probably a spell you're going to use all the time. So if Healing Rain is up, chain heal your life away because it's going to do 20% extra healing, and especially if you have your Riptide target in there too. I'm not sure if it's a stacking effect where they're getting Riptide and Healing Rain and they'll get a bonus of 20 plus 20. That would be interesting to check out. But I do know that I find that this will probably be the most effective way to use your healing. Ancestral Guidance and Crushing Waves are good. Ancestral Guidance is real good. You know, and actually it's not as good as it used to be. But never mind. Moving on to level 75. This one was a little bit of a toss-up for me. I find they're all pretty solid choices. I ended up going with Ancestral Vigor, which targets you heal with Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Chain Heal, or Riptide, which is basically almost every heal I have. Increases their health by 10%. So that means that, like, you're just going to give them that extra boost of push, like, hey, I'm bolstering you, I'm giving you more health, which is good because if their max health is increased, a lot of tanks have abilities based on their maximum health. Paladins do. It's going to help, you know, Paladins do, Death Knights do, I know for sure. Not too sure about Warriors, it's possible, but I don't know. And Demon Hunters are too new, I haven't really gone through them with a fine-tooth comb yet. But either way, it's going to be a benefit to you and your raid members, especially with Chain Heal hitting 3-4 targets at a time. It's going to be great. At level 90, oh, you know what, let's go back to level 75 here. I feel like I should mention these two other totems because, for one, Ancestral Protection Totem is brand new. 5-minute cooldown. Summons a totem in the target that lasts for 30 seconds. All allies within 20 yards of the totem gain 10% increased health. If an ally dies, the totem will consume itself and res them. It's another battle res. Now this could be very good in the sense of somehow the tank took a massive blow that he shouldn't have taken, and he's super low and there's no way that I can heal him. I can instant cast this thing down, and as long as he's close enough to get the benefit, he'll res if he gets killed, which could save a dungeon group or a raid group from certain wipeitude. For sure. So I think that's definitely got some utility in there, but I think you're going to need it on a case-by-case basis, whereas I feel that Ancestral Vigor is much better. Now, Earth's Shield Totem is kind of cool. This is actually the only reference of Earth Shield in the entire game now. There is no actual Earth Shield that shamans can put on somebody that will heal them when they take damage, which is unfortunate. Another thing I don't have is Mana Shield. Mana Shield is no more as well, so I can't even gain extra mana that way, which is going to be, you know, important in the next 2 tiers of talents. So I don't think that now I have a passive called Resurgence, which uses the old Mana Shield logo, which we'll get into that in a minute. Once I cover level 90, which I'm going to do right now. At level 90, I take Bottomless Depths. Resurgence always triggers when you heal a target below 60% health. No drawback, no penalty for this, it just always does. Now when I go back in here and we look at Resurgence, it says your direct heal criticals refund a percentage of your maximum mana. 1% maximum mana from Healing Wave, 0.6% from Healing Surge, Unleash Life or Riptide, and 0.25% from Chain Heal. Because Chain Heal is going to hit 4 targets. It's going to equal out. Don't worry. Now, with this comboed ability, Bottomless Depths, 60% health is not that hard to get somebody down into 60% health. Especially during raids, especially with some of the squishier tanks, like maybe Warriors or Demon Hunters initially. I know Death Knights were real squishy before. I'm not sure how squishy they are now, but it's going to be super helpful to refund all that mana. Because you're going to be healing that guy over and over and over again. And if he's at 60% health every time you heal him, you're going to be gaining back a lot of mana. A ton of mana. For instance, Healing Surge, it costs me 6,400 mana. My maximum mana is 160,000. 1% of 160,000 is... 160,000. I got to cut 2 zeros off that. It's 1,600 mana. 1,600 mana if it's Healing Surge, but Healing Surge is not quite that much. Healing Surge is 0.6%, so it's going to be about 800 to 900 heals, but the heal only costs 6,400. So I'm getting an extra heal out of every 5 or 6 casts if he's at 60% health or less all the time. Especially if I'm healing him with Healing Wave. Healing Wave is 2,800, and I'm going to get back 1,600. So in essence, that heal is only going to cost me about 1,200 mana, which based on my regeneration could almost equal out, but probably won't. It'll probably still eventually run out of mana, but at the same time, it's going to prolong your ability to dish out healing, which is exactly your main job. That's your only job as a Resto Shaman, is to heal people, protect them, keep them alive so that they can deal damage. You do have damaging abilities, but that's not really what you're about. I mean, you deal damage with Lava Surge. That's more of a survivability thing. Deep healing increases healing from your spells by up to 50% based on the current health of your target. Lower health to target, lower targets are healed for more. So that works with Resurgence even better. So it's really great in that sense. Reincarnation, of course, is the same passive that it's always been. You get to revive once every 30 minutes. Very good. Now, going back down into the talents, we have the level 100 tree. Again, these are all pretty good choices, but I picked High Tide because I don't think I need another button to pick. Because when we go through the bar here in a second, I will show you how many buttons I actually have that are active, which is a lot more than most classes get. Because you still have to be able to deal damage, but you have a variety of healing tools, which in my opinion makes shamans the best raid healers in the game. They don't have anything to do with they may not have, oh, there's somebody running around next to me. They don't have a lot of damage to offer, but they can sure heal, and they can do it really well from a raid perspective. Not so good tanking perspective, because you'll probably run out of mana if you're a main tank healer on a really high-end difficulty raid and you're just barely at the gear level that you need to be, but they make up for it in the utility that they have. So High Tide, chain heal bounces to one additional target, and its fall off with each bounce is reduced by half. So not only are you going to heal an additional target, each of the targets you heal with chain heal is going to heal even better, which I really like. That's why I take it. It's also not a button. The other two are buttons. One is a 1.3 second cast, which not really worth it, and the other one is an instant, which gives you a buff, which not really interested. I'd rather have the chain heal bounce to another target. Okay, now let's go down and take a look at how many buttons I actually have. Now I've reserved the top button for most of my heals and stuff like that. And we have Healing Surge, Healing Wave, Chain Heal, Healing Rain. Riptide is down here, but it's also a heal, and so is Unleash Life. That is 6 healing spells. Okay, now in addition to that, we have the only 2 totems that shamans get access to right off the bat. Well, I wouldn't say the only, but 2 of the main ones. Healing Stream Totem, which is a 30-second totem. You want to have this thing down all the time. It's going to heal a bunch of people, like everybody. It summons a totem at your feet for 15 seconds that heals an injured party or raid member within 40 yards for 3,600 every 1 second. So it doesn't heal everybody, but it does heal one target every 1.7 seconds. Very good. The other one is Healing Tide Totem. This has a 3-minute cooldown, summons a totem at your feet for 19 seconds, but pulses every 1.7 seconds, healing all party or raid members within 40 yards for a certain amount of heal. This is when everybody's taking damage. And it's very useful, and you should have it up whenever you get into a bad spot where you know that you might not be able to heal that third DPS who's taking too much damage. Throw this down. Throw down the Healing Rain. Chain heal all over the place. You're probably going to save their life, and if not, you're going to come very, very close. Now I'm going to show you the amount of buffs you get basically because of the way you heal. Now I'm targeting myself, and this is not really any kind of practical test, but if I Riptide myself, you'll see up here I've gotten 3 buffs already. Echo of Elements kicks me up to 5 buffs. Then I will Healing Rain with the 4. Yeah, there we go. We'll Healing Rain down here, and I'll Healing Surge myself, and it's just a cycle of buffs up here. And meanwhile, I've healed myself for way more than I could ever possibly need to heal without being taken damage. So this has been the look at a Resto Shaman. Now, I know not everybody likes to play healers, and I know not everybody likes to kind of be stuck in that category of like, oh, you're always the healer, you're always the healer, you're always the healer. But when you get stuck as being the healer, which is going to happen, we all need healers in the game. Healers need other healers when you're in big raids, tanks need healers all the time, DPS when they make mistakes, or even when they just take AoE damage, they need healers to continue to be top of the DPS meter. So when people scream about, oh look, I'm top DPS, I'm top DPS, I'm top DPS, well guess what? You're only alive to do that DPS because I kept you alive. Maybe don't stand in the puddle next time because I'm gonna let you die. Which is another tip for you healers out there. If you got a guy in your raid or dungeon that keeps standing in things and keeps dying, mention it to him first, like, hey, I can't heal you through that. Like, I have to keep everybody else alive. But if he keeps doing it and he keeps doing it, let him die. Like, it's not worth trying to focus heal him through the pool of death to the detriment of the team surviving. If he dies but you kill the boss, that's a victory. Okay? Take that victory. Don't let them rush you. Don't let them belittle you for not healing them when they do stuff like that. You take the overall victory, res them afterwards, give them a nice, like, hey, next time don't stand in the puddle kind of thing. And that's it. And if they go off on you, ignore them. It's not a big deal. Because the party itself is going to know what's up. And if they try to kill you, or not kill you, but if they try to kick you out of a group, for whether it be a raid, like if we're looking for raid, or a group for looking for group, the rest of the party is going to know what's up. And they're not going to let it happen, okay? So stick to your guns. Don't fight fire with fire when they come to you with the accusations of, why didn't you heal me, bro? Like, you let me die. That's so uncool. You're a crappy healer. You're not, okay? The tank lives, usually the party will live. Tank first, healer second, DPS third. It's just the way it is, the way it's always been. It's probably the way it's always going to be. Okay, unless you have a DPS who's doing 10 times the amount of DPS everybody else is, and the only way you're going to get through bosses is for him to kill everybody. But still, that happens so rarely, it's ridiculous, especially with the new rebalancing changes. Well, that does it for this Shaman Spotlight Talent Guide. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe for more content in the future, because we're going to have tons. It's just the way WoW is. There's tons of stuff to do, and there's tons of videos to be made. In addition to that, the channel's not only going to focus on World of Warcraft. I am going to put up other videos from other games. As much as I love World of Warcraft and playing it, I love other games too. You know, and I'm sure everybody loves to play a different game every once in a while, or see a different game. So make sure you check out the other videos in the channel, give them some likes, throw some comments on there, let me know what you want to see. You tell me what you want to see, I'll make it happen, alright? Till next time, you've been great. I've been Raleigh. This has been the Midnight Run. See you later.